Good morning, everyone. As you can see, it's another beautiful day here in Texas, and I was really excited that I'm not starting late. Yay! I had a call from the school, and one of my children had forgotten their lunches, and so I had to run to the school, and we still started on time, so that's really exciting. All right, so today I had been seeing around the internet, there's a lot of ladies that I'm friends with who have wreaths, and some of them made these beautiful rope wreaths, okay? So they were just gorgeous. And so I was kind of thinking about it. It was something I kind of wanted to try out. And so I thought we would share it with you guys. So this is the one that I made. Kind of, there you go. It's kind of bright here. There you go. So you can see the flowers there. And I just added the flowers as a touch, more of an example of something that you guys could just add to it. So it'll give you a little bit of a close-up of what that looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And so the ladies that I had seen had actually gotten, you know, the brown rope, and they'd said they found it at the dollar store, and I just couldn't find it. So I went with this. And I still love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to set that aside and we'll be able to start making ours. All right, so at the dollar store they have these, let's see exactly what they call them, a wreath form. So then we go. All right, and it just has a pin in it, so we're just going to quickly cut that off. And then this was the rope that I had found. So it's packaged like this. And they did have some smaller ones, but these ones were the size that I ended up going with. So then I can tell you more about what you need. So you'll need 3 of these to be able to make one wreath. Okay. And I didn't really use any glue until I added on any flowers. So this is mostly just, all right, and mostly just with your hands, just tying things off and stuff. All right, so they have where it wraps around, okay, and one of these ends will come out and the other one won't. So that one's not coming out. So go to the other side where it comes in, fingers crossed. Looks a little different on this end. There we go, and we got our end, okay? And what I did is either you can go ahead and start weaving, but then you'll have to pull all the string through. So I thought it was easier if we kind of found the midpoint and did it that way. So I'm gonna unravel it. Okay, keep unraveling. We're going to try and find the other end piece. And so one of the most difficult things about this really is just trying not to create knots. So I'll show you the technique that I decided on doing to avoid that hassle of dealing with the knots, okay? All right, now this is just not unraveling as easily. All right, there we go. All right, so there we go. We got it started. Okay, and then we're just going to weave it through. So I got right near the wire that's going this way, okay? And I'm just going to go through. It doesn't really matter which way you weave it. Just make sure you go under one and over the other. All right, and then we're going to estimate. Oh, if you're having trouble seeing, go ahead and swipe the comments to the right. I need to put a note for myself to say that at the very beginning so then people don't get confused by it. All right, there we go. All right, and so what we're trying to do is pull enough through that we think it's about halfway. All right, and then find the 2 ends, put them together, and then just kind of pull it through. There'll be a few spots that will like wrinkle up a bit. Don't stress too much. It doesn't have to be too perfect. All right, and then we're just gonna pull it all the way through. So then you're getting about your halfway point, right? All right, so what I did is I put it through, weaved it through on one side of the line there, of the wire there, and then that's kind of like holding it there. And so then what I'll do is I'll work on the other side of that wire for continuing on. And so that just helps it to have a starting point where it's not just gonna pull through. And so it just makes it a lot easier. So the one side that you're not working on, just kind of pull it all out and set it aside out of your way, okay? I'm just gonna set it out of the way. And then this side, we're going to find our end point, make sure we haven't created any knots. Find our end point and just weave. So if you went under before, you're going to start going over, under, over. All right, and one of the best ways that I found to, like, this is the technique I wanted to share with you guys, was I just keep on holding that and then just pull through. So I'm still holding it, Okay, so I'm holding it like this, grab the next piece, and then just pull through. And just make sure you're still holding that end. And just pulling through. And this is mostly what it is. It's just weaving. And so where it gets a little bit more frustrating, especially if you're specific and being, you know, like you want it to be absolutely perfect, is sometimes kind of like when I was pulling it out, some of them kind of like ripple and twist. So you can twist those out, but it doesn't look too bad even when you don't. All right, so we're just going to go back through just one more. All right, just weaving under, over, and you can tell pretty quick when you have made a mistake. Like I even had one where I was running out of time and I was just quickly working on it and I undid a line instead of added a line, and I was like, oh dang it. So you can tell pretty quick that you messed up, and then you just go ahead back and correct it. It's really easy to correct because we're just weaving string. All right, so that is how to start. All right, and so once you finish all the way through that side, then we'll go on the other side. And I have one that's almost done, so I'll show you that one. Set that aside. And this one is in yellow. So they had green and yellow at our store. All right, so I'll let you guys see here. Okay, so this one has already been finished all the way to the end. Okay, so we're right near the end of this one, just about a foot left. Just going to quickly weave it through. Okay. Weaving it through. Just want to show you how this is going to end. Hopefully not too clumsy of a way, but a way that you guys can see it. All right. And back through. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit tighter, and sometimes you'll find like there's I think they call them spurs on the wire there. So make sure you're just like, if you find a spur, kind of try to move it over so then it's not catching on the string, because then, you know, like it might end up with pulls in it and stuff, which you probably don't want. All right, and so there is still quite a bit of give, so if it's getting tight, just kind of push it over a little bit. And then you can just kind of, you know, space it out a little bit better on the way back. So we're down to this much. All right, and so I'm going to come back up through, make sure I'm not missing any lines. All right, back up. All right, and this is the part that I really want you guys to be able to see, okay? All right, so what I did is, because the top is bigger than the bottom one, so trying to get that extra little one in the top will help fill that area in a little bit more. So go ahead and weave it through like you normally would, right? You come back around and just do a weave just on the top. And then when you come back underneath, then keep that string there, okay? All right, that's how simple it is. And what I was doing is I was simply just tying off the strings. So if you have too much extra, another great way to get it out of the way that I was doing is just pulling out one of these strings that are underneath. Make sure you're not pulling out an over one. Underneath. And just kind of tuck it in. Do you see? Just grab one of those strings and tuck it in. And then it won't be on the front. See? It's not hanging out. It's out of the way. Nice and simple. All right. And another thing that you could do that I thought of that I didn't do on my first one was you could also use some of the extra string to make the hook for your wreath. Okay? So you can just tie it off. Tuck that string in. And you might want to, you know, square knot it and stuff so then it holds. I'm just doing a quick knot. And then you have it to be able to hold your wreath. Okay, so that's how simple it is. It's super, super simple. You guys can even do this with a lot of your older kids who, you know, can do the weave of up and down, and even the younger ones, you can teach them how to do it. All right, and some of the suggestions, like you saw on my example, I just added a few flowers, and the really great thing is you can actually like separate them and just stick flowers in. So you don't necessarily have to glue them on. And I got the rope at Dollar Tree actually, so that's where I got the rope. And like I was saying, you can just like push it aside. So two of these flowers aren't even glued in. So I glued one in, so I'm gonna show you, even though I like where it's placed. and just took it out. There's no glue on the back. The rope actually is tight enough to hold the flowers. So you could fill it in with flowers and then change it as the seasons change. And also they have like lots of really nice signs at the dollar store that you could put in behind. You could even grab the form and be able to check it out before you even leave the store, how you think it looks, how it will fit, and also little stuffed toys. So I have an example, which is obviously not from the dollar store, but you know, a cute little lamb maybe holding on. So lots of great ideas. You guys are super creative with wreaths. There's so many ladies who make the wreaths. And this was just a rope one. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you send me a picture and let me know if you guys end up doing this, especially if you end up doing this with your kids. I always love hearing about those activities that people are doing. If you're interested in seeing more craft videos, you can go ahead and add me as a friend or follow me, or yeah, that's about it. All right, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, you guys.